January 20th, the day of Trump's inauguration, will mark the 100th anniversary ceremony in American history. Farewell speeches from American politicians and preparations for a change in direction. What will be and what cannot be avoided? Let's examine all the political elements and put them in place. This is the Mendeleva table. Let's figure it out together. The upcoming Monday in the States. A tough day. At noon local time, 8 p.m. Minsk time, the future leader of America will take the oath, deliver a speech, and then participate in a ceremonial parade. Notably, for the first time in U.S. history, the ritual will take place with flags at half-mast, due to mourning the death of former American President Jimmy Carter. The atmosphere is tense. To ensure security in Washington, 25,000 law enforcement officers are planned to be deployed. 48 kilometers of high temporary fencing have already been erected, and checkpoints have been set up for spectators. Biden has already bid farewell to Americans. He counted the past 4 years as a plus for himself. He didn't provide specific examples, but criticized the oligarchs.
Today in America, oligarchs are forming, possessing enormous wealth, power, and influence, which literally threatens our entire democracy, our fundamental rights and freedoms, and equal opportunities for everyone's advancement. Americans find themselves buried under an avalanche of misinformation, which contributes to the abuse of power. The free press is collapsing, and social media is abandoning fact-checking. Truth is covered by lies told for power and profit.
However, Americans themselves did not appreciate Joe's Don Quixote Act and independently summed up his rule. According to a poll, more than half believe that Biden's tenure as U.S. head will be remembered negatively. The U.S. Secretary of State found himself in an awkward situation during his farewell speech. Blinken's self-praise was interrupted by the cries of a Palestinian protester who was quickly removed from the hall.
You, bloody Secretary of State, will forever be remembered as the damn minister of genocide. You have the blood of hundreds of thousands of innocent people on your hands.
Biden's national security advisor also bid farewell, making an ambiguous statement. Sullivan, in what is expected to be his last briefing for the media at the White House, hinted at an unexpected event in the coming days.
In closing, I'll just say that this is hopefully my last appearance before you, at least in the foreseeable future. And I don't mean that in a bad way. The only thing that could bring me back here is if something unforeseen happens in the next few days, which, as you know, is quite possible.
Territorial ambitions, potash, major deals. The elected U.S. president plans to issue over 100 orders on his inauguration day. Mexico is already prepared for such developments. In the city of Tijuana, which borders the U.S., a state of emergency has been declared due to the possible arrival of a large number of migrants as part of their mass deportation from the states. Yet, not losing hope, another caravan of migrants has set off from southern Mexico towards the U.S. The Trump administration has prepared a response if Americans decide to impose tariffs for Canada's refusal to become the 51st state. Ottawa, Greenland's residents are also worried. Let me remind you, Donald Trump decided to buy the island, not for himself, of course, but to make America great again.
In reality, everything Donald Trump and his team have announced and said since the election until January 20th cannot be taken as definite guarantees and promises. Because, for example, the timeline for resolving the conflict in Ukraine has shifted significantly. They started with 1 day, and now it's been 3 months. So what he will actually do and how he will do it, we will find out after the 20th when he truly takes office. And the closer the inauguration day gets, the more cautious Trump becomes in his rhetoric. And now, of course, everyone is eagerly watching the distribution of invitations to the inauguration.
Zelensky stated that he would like to attend the inauguration of the blonde Republican, but he wasn't invited. This fact has fueled fears in Kyiv and the EU that Trump will stop aid to Ukraine. However, the ceremony itself could become an attractive potential target for extremists. Politics warns about this.